Hello and welcome to this special screening of Day Night, Day Night. Thank you very much for joining us. Can I please introduce the director? This is Julia Loktev. And Julia, how do you introduce a film about a female suicide bomber in New York? Being a New Yorker.
I think the less you know about the film going into it, the better. I'll be back after and we can talk about it. It's much easier to talk about it after the film when you all have something to say as well.
Yeah. Enjoy the film. Talk to you afterwards. Cheers.
For me, the film is about the girl. It rests on her face. She's on screen every single moment, and I wanted someone who you don't know her face.
This debut feature from writer-director Julia Loktev follows the psychological journey of a young suicide bomber preparing for her mission.
Date of birth?
April 10th, 1987.
Last name?
CRUZ.
Zip code?
80536.
Date of birth?
April 10th, 1987.
Street address?
Loktev sets the film in her home city, New York, but insists there's no connection to 9/11. The focus, she says, should be on this woman's conviction.
If I think that I've been noticed or there's a small chance that I may be caught, I must execute the plan immediately, even if there is no one nearby.
Good, one more time.
The lead character, who's nameless throughout the film, is portrayed by first-time actor Louisa Williams.
This switch locks it, and you just flip it to unlock it and press this button.
Okay, it's this button here.
I tried really hard not to look at it as I'm playing a suicide bomber who's about to carry out this mission. She's a human being, I'm a human being.
I'm sorry, I want to do everything right. But why would I do it if no one's around?
Winning awards at the Cannes, Chicago and Montreal film festivals and nominations for the pre-Oscars Spirit Awards, Loktev's film has firmly placed her in the category of someone to watch.
The subject of female suicide bombing really fascinated you. And there have been female suicide bombers with the Chechens, there's also been the Tamil Tigers, and now more recently Israel, Palestine, the first Palestinian female bomber, I think it was 2003. And is that a timeliness that affected you wanting to do this film?
I did a huge amount of research for the film. There are interviews available with suicide bombers who've either backed out or have failed in the mission. Initially, the story came from something that I had read in a newspaper. In Russia, there was a girl who was arrested with a bomb, and she had been walking pretty much the same route that I had been walking.
Let's talk more about that case. So this was a Moscow suicide bomber. She said that she pushed the button and the bomb didn't go off, didn't she?
That's what she said when
originally.
she was on trial. But I don't know.
I still don't quite understand what your fascination is with suicide bombers.
I don't have a general fascination with suicide bombers. I was interested in this particular story, which was so different from the versions of the stories that you're used to. It's not like George Bush's description that they get up in the morning and they say, oh, I think I'll be an evildoer. I mean, people who do this believe in this, and I wanted to start with that assumption.
But don't you think you missed a lot because it doesn't have a strong feeling or touch? Yeah, the feelings of someone who wanted to commit a suicide, but what for, why?
I didn't want to bring in her motivations or her ethnicity in a very cheap way, because I think a lot of people would just say, okay, she's an Arab, she's a Muslim, check, we're done. It's a much more complicated story.
This is going to be the main criticism, if any, isn't it? That people really want to know why this girl felt compelled to end her life. The only thing that gave me one hint of motivation was when we assume she's talking to her parents.
Hi, honey, what happened? Did you lose your cell phone?
Hey, how's Chicago? Are you girls having a nice time? Hello?
Hello?
Were you aware of the fact that all the scenes in the hotel were had a funny effect also?
We actually tried not to play it for humor too much, but inevitably I think the things that make up real life are often very, very funny.
Excuse me? Do you think you can have a Kleenex? I feel like my nose is getting shiny.
Okay, I got it.
The clothing was something that was based very much on articles that I had read, where it seems like the dress-up part is very much a part of the act. For instance, I read about one Palestinian girl that backed out when the organizers asked her to wear a crop shirt that exposed her belly. And she said, I can't do it in that shirt, they can't be possibly pious if they ask me to wear that.
Why did you decide to highlight when she's like taking a bath or brushing her teeth?
A lot of the film focuses on these very simple daily details, a girl clipping her toenails, a girl washing her underwear, a girl eating. But of course, all of these gestures take on a different meaning when you realize she's doing them for the last time. You know, she's washing the underpants she plans to die in.
I just wanted to know what is your kind of ethnic and religious background?
I mean, again, I don't think my ethnic or religious background is relevant to the film.
Don't you think that people tend
What's
to...
your ethnic and religious background? I think we should all go around the, I think we should go around the room.
But I haven't made a film on suicide bombers, so for me it's very important to know the person who actually came out with such a film, where she comes from.
I think one of the things Luisa and I both related to as people is that everybody asks. Cab drivers ask me, you know, cab drivers ask her, are you going to the deli? People say, what are you? And you go, human. You know, so...
Thank you very much for joining us. Can we please thank the director of Day Night, Julia Loktev.
It's okay, please don't touch it. No, please don't touch it.
I'm trying to be a gentleman here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. You got any body parts?
A bomb.
Day Night shows what an important role clothes play in people's perceptions. Well, few know that better than Gabriella Pescucci, one of the world's greatest costume designers. Our journey begins in Rome with Italian journalist Giorgia Scaturo. Not only the former capital of the Roman Empire, but today's Italian centre of something equally important.
This is the capital of cinema.
We'd been invited to a tribute to 60 years of Italian cinema and costume. This is special, we're going backstage to meet one of the world's greatest costume designers.
Buonasera, thank you, ciao.
Gabriella Pescucci was overseeing a team of hair and makeup artists. They were recreating iconic characters from Italy's legendary directors like Fellini, Rossellini and Visconti. 200 actors and models were cast for the catwalk show. You look very calm.
Ho messo insieme I costumi di tanti film, ma non è un grosso lavoro per me.
Pescucci's designs have graced more than 40 films, and this is where they begin. And this is one of the most important studios, isn't it?
Yes.
Since 1964, some of the most famous fittings have taken place here.
Maria Callas nel film di Pasolini.
And despite computer technology, Pescucci herself only hand sketches. I've never seen designs with characters, the drawing and the detail.
Faccio I caratteri.
I draw my characters according to the script, so that's why I do my faces.
I disegni è
Unfortunately, because I don't speak English, the only way I have to communicate with directors is through my drawing.
È il laboratorio.
This is the laboratory where the women costumes are made.
And it's here that up to 500 costumes were made for the twisted fairy tale, The Brothers Grimm. For Monica Bellucci's role as the evil queen, Pescucci turned to her favourite colour.
Tell me, I am the fairest of them all, Jacob.
Il mio lavoro.
Her job is basically helping the actress to best enter in her part, and the costume plays such an important part.
È importantissimo. Amo il dettaglio perché
She loves the details, little details, because when in cinema you never know where the camera will show.
Tell me about this one.
questo vestito è partito da questo pezzo.
For the whole costume, I just started from that specific piece.
Yeah.
And she found it at a vintage market in Paris. She fell in love with it and decided that one day some good costume will come out of it.
It just might win you an Oscar, you thought. And it did win her an Oscar. Worn by Michelle Pfeiffer and Winona Ryder, these dresses were part of an ensemble of costumes designed for Martin Scorsese's Age of Innocence. We know that cinema is about tricks, but you don't have any tricks. This is incredible.
Yes, but
your detail.
Lo so che è esagerato.
I know, I've exaggerated a little bit. I overdid it.
Her attention to detail earned her another Oscar nomination for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
She sketched at least 100 of these characters, and Tim Burton would be saying all the time, "Paul, make it more simple."
The Oompa Loompas. And she got to work with one of her favourite models. He looks just like Johnny Depp.
Yes, he's a so delicious man. He's fantastic. I love him. I think everybody loves him.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Well, that's it for this fabulous picture show. If you want to see more, head to our website. Julia, undoubtedly one of the most talkative Q&As I've ever conducted. Compelling subject, I guess.
Well, thank you for having me here. It was a lively discussion and a tough discussion, but I think those are the best kind.
It wasn't too tough, but more of that next time.
How would you rate the film out of 10 and why?
I give it 8.5 out of 10.
9. At least a 9.
I found it amazingly compelling, actually. My heart just started beating faster and faster and faster and faster.
It kind of left me with a lot of emotion, but no way to rationalize anything that was going on.
A way of treating a subject that I've just never encountered.
She was obviously emphasising the human aspect of a suicide bomber.
I found the food scenes very compelling, the way she kind of munched her way through the movie.